Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for having back in to see what I have to say. I promise y'all, it truly does mean the world to me. But with that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about QUANT Network in this one, okay, you guys? Y'all, this past week, QUANT Network dropped some major news in regards to the RTGS systems of countries, the real-time gross settlement systems, you guys, of countries. Follow me on this. But before we get too deep into it, I want to thank all of you guys for liking, for commenting, for subscribing. I truly appreciate all the love and the support that you guys bring to the channel, the community. Y'all rock, okay, you guys? But follow me on this. So it's not just QUANT Network giving a solution to the central banks. And it's not just QUANT Network giving a solution to the commercial banks and businesses within the country. It's also QUANT Network now giving a solution to the real-time gross settlement systems of the country to be able to seamlessly interoperate, and whether it's cross-border payments or payments within the jurisdiction of those borders, in the realm of Web3. You guys, what Overledger is, I'm telling you guys, it is the global standard, okay? Follow me on this. I'm always going somewhere, and all roads lead to QUANT and Overledger. They're interoperable software as a service, okay, you guys? But in this first video, it is Gilbert Verdian talking about the RTGS system of the UK. When people that have a seat at the table speak, listen to the words coming out of their mouth, because we're going to couple this video from last year to the new announcement from this year and see how it's been ducks. It has been little breadcrumbs being left, and we just follow the breadcrumbs. It will lead you to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you guys. Follow me on this. I'm always going somewhere, okay? Here we go. This very first video, Gilbert Verdian talking about the real-time gross settlement system upgrade of the UK, and I will be right back.
Real-time gross settlement system?
Real-time gross settlements. What that means is, so the UK has had faster payments since 2008 when it was implemented. And what that means is when you're setting a transaction between you and someone else through your banks, it's in real time. The US has only just received that in the last couple of years. TCH was the first one. So I worked on that project through Verkalink in my previous role. That's to connect 14,000 banks to the TCH system. And even more recently, the Fed in the US is becoming a service provider with FedNow. So they're looking at providing real-time settlement between different banks and parties as well. So when you're doing bank transfers, the money actually doesn't leave banks until there's a settlement time, which is every few hours. And that settlement basically does a net settlement between what you owe to the other bank in terms of all your customers, what the other bank owes to you, and then you settle that into the account in the central bank, and that's how you have settlement between different banks. So RTGS runs that system, that the economy for that. So just back to the Bank of England example. So they're updating their RTGS in a program called RTGS Renewal. It's public. What they're looking to do is the next RTGS system is going to be blockchain compatible. So they're not going to put it on blockchain because the technology is not there for it, and it's not really designed for an RTGS system. That's a separate, high availability system. So what that means is the future RTGS system is going to be able to talk digital assets, and that's important because that's where CBDCs come in. So the view across industry, and we've been working a lot with regulators, with central banks, with the higher order of the banking system, and the view is central bank digital currencies will be here. That they're not a theoretical thing anymore. Even today, I've seen on Twitter a very crude example of the digital yen in China. Digital yuan in China, and someone just went to a convenience store and used it as a digital wallet and just bought a drink. So the CBDC discussion is not optional. It will happen. Everyone is actively working on it. There's reports from the IMF, from BIS, from the FSB that's showing the activity. And what CBDCs will do is complement the money system, because money is very difficult to move. If you're doing small transactions, you have to do reconciliation. You have to do taxation after profits. The settlement of money has to exchange hands and then move into different banks, and then it gets settled into RTGS. So it's a difficult medium of value to transact with, but cash is still widely used. So moving away from pure cash, the CBDC that will be issued is another way for people to have a government-backed form of money that's trusted because it's backed by the central bank, and it's widely adopted because the rails are already there. It's just going to complement the payment and settlement rails that already exist, and eventually it'll get tied into RTGS. So the architecture and the thinking behind central banks, from our experience, there's going to be two types. So there's going to be a central bank issued wholesale CBDC, and that CBDC will be large value. It will be hundreds of millions, billions of pounds or dollars or euros that will be issued to the banks, the commercial banks that are already regulated and supervised within the RTGS system. Those commercial banks, what it allows them to do is issue retail CBDCs. So the model is quite flexible. So this is where the synthetic CBDCs come in as well. So then those banks will have authorization to issue. If they've got 100 million wholesale CBDC from the central bank, they can issue 100 million worth of retail CBDCs and put it out into the system.
Now, you just heard everything he had to say in regards to the real-time gross settlement system, how it interoperates, what it is going to be interoperating with, all of those things. We know that's DLT. Follow me on this, okay, you guys, because I'm going to tap into a little bit of Project Meridian. Remember, I told y'all these projects have been going on in the background so that we can get to the point where we have an announcement like QUANT Network is doing now about the real-time gross settlement system services that they now offer. Follow me on this, okay, you guys. But Project Meridian, that was a coalition of central banks and the country's real-time gross settlement system coming together and seeing, can they build out a real-time gross settlement system that connects to DLT, and can they interoperate from within borders and cross borders, whether that's from here to the UK or whatever the case may be, as far as these DLT processes and these real-time gross settlement systems are concerned in these countries that are now adopting these Web3 services. Okay, you guys. So Project Meridian was a major part of seeing, is this a reality? Can we do it? Okay, follow me on this. I'm always going somewhere, and I will be right back. Coming from the Bank of International Settlements, Project Meridian.
Project Meridian FX proves that wholesale payment infrastructures, such as real-time gross settlement systems, can interoperate with each other via new technologies. The joint project between the Bank for International Settlements, Bank of England, Bank of France, Bank of Italy, Deutsche Bundesbank and European Central Bank explored synchronizing foreign exchange transactions. It demonstrated that these transactions could be settled atomically across jurisdictions and across different types of infrastructures. Synchronization is a process whereby two or more assets are settled atomically when the transfer of one leg of the transaction, such as buying a currency, happens only if the transfer of the other leg, such as selling another currency, occurs. To test the atomic settlement of foreign exchange transactions, a synthetic version of the UK RTGS system was connected via a synchronization operator to 3 experimental Eurosystem interoperability solutions. The DL3S solution, developed by the Bank of France, the TIPS Hashlink solution, developed by the Bank of Italy, and the Trigger solution, developed by the Deutsche Bundesbank. The synchronization operator coordinated the movement of central bank money between accounts. It was based on distributed ledger technology, allowing either single or multiple operators in different jurisdictions on a shared network. Meridian FX allowed the synchronization operator to provide gross settlement for certain transactions, for example those that end users might consider urgent, and batch settlement for less urgent transactions. Meridian FX sought to address some of the actions called for in the G20 cross-border payments roadmap. For example, reducing foreign exchange settlement risk using payment versus payment transactions, and establishing realistic interoperability links between the wholesale payment infrastructures of different countries. Synchronization could also mitigate some of the liquidity risk and credit risk challenges in the foreign exchange market. Combined with the results of previous work undertaken by the BIS and the Bank of England, Meridian FX shows that synchronization can be used regardless of the asset or fund of the transaction involved and the technology of the ledgers, highlighting its potential use in other markets. Insights gained from the project will inform the work programs of the participating central banks.
Ready. So we've done two with the Bank for International Settlements. You have a London Centre project, Rosalind, and Project Meridian. Meridian was focused on housing, just recently been published. Rosalind should be coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's focused on central bank digital currency. I mean, Gilbert has been really important in this. He was a sort of an important participant with QUANT providing inputs.
Now, you guys just saw directly from the Bank of International Settlements. And I even threw that little piece in there of Tom Mudden and Gilbert Verdian, so you can hear him say Quant is a part of Project Meridian. Follow me on this, because Project Meridian was them showing the real-time gross settlement systems of countries. This is a possibility. This truly can happen, and it can happen seamlessly, safely, securely. You've done the work in the background with the trials. Now it's time for real-world deployment. I'm telling you guys, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, it is going to be an incredible time and space in the realm of Web3, because if you're watching me right now in 2025, more than likely you're holding QNT, and you understand that QNT is truly the token that will power the entirety of Web3 on multiple different ways, so that mass adoption of the technology can happen globally. Okay, you guys? But here we go. This next video, it is coming from our boy Maximus Crypto, and it is a new release from the QUANT Network website talking about the RTGS services they are now offering countries. Y'all, listen to what is being laid out right now in 2025 by a company that has tied itself to global standards and internet protocols. You can't you can't lose, if you go the route of standardization. Okay, here we go, that next video, and I will be right back.
The evolution of interbank settlement from RTGS to programmable infrastructure. Take a look at this for a moment. And as you see here on the right side, it says, as banks explore digital currencies and tokenized assets, the road to a programmable financial system is not possible. It's increasingly necessary. The road to programmable banking, obstacles and opportunities. It says, despite its promise, programmability also comes with hurdles, integration with legacy systems, regulatory uncertainty around smart contracts, interoperable across jurisdictions, and cybersecurity risks must all be addressed. How's QUANT Network addressing that? Well, they say, moreover, transitioning to programmable infrastructure requires investment in new technology stacks and talent. Widespread adoption will come from regulatory clarity, interoperable infrastructure, and governance. Once trust is built and incentives align, programmability has the potential to transition from pilot projects to systemic use. Programmability is the interbank settlement represents a powerful evolution beyond traditional real-time gross settlement frameworks. It enhances speed, reduces risk, and enables dynamic, logic-driven financial transactions. While banks face significant challenges in reallocating capital and management risk with existing frameworks, programmability offers a long-term solution to reduce costs and improve resilience. Banks explore digital currencies and tokenized assets. The road to programmable financial system is not only possible, it's increasingly necessary. How does Quant solve these problems? So they realize they need to modernize a real-time gross settlement for the digital age. Quant is uniquely positioning itself to help central banks, financial institutions transform their RTGS systems from static, batch-based frameworks into dynamic, programmable infrastructures. With Quant Flow, settlement instructions can be automated with programmable logic, enabling true 24/7 real-time settlement. I mean, if you think about it, that's powerful. Powered by Overledger and Fusion, Quant can manage counterparty risk via PVP and delivery versus payment settlement across networks, orchestrate just-in-time liquidity transfers with tokenized deposits, cash flows, and reduce operational complexity by acting as a universal interoperability layer. The universal interoperability layer, acting as a universal interoperability layer. That's wow. I mean, this is a great update. This eliminates much of the need for reconciliation by keeping records synchronized across platforms with embedded compliance and auditability. By design, QuantFlow ensures that real-time gross settlements modernization is not only efficient but also regulatory grade, paving the way for a more resilient, interoperable, future-proof global payments infrastructure.
Now you guys just saw that entire release from QUANT Network, okay, you guys? It is no coincidence that now all of a sudden they are providing services for RTGSs, okay, you guys? Like truly see, like they're not saying these things for no reason. Project Meridian did not happen for no reason. They are truly at the point of we have done our POCs, which means proof of concepts. We have done our private blockchain platforms. We have truly saw that this technology can help us streamline our processes and bring down our bottom dollar. And now there is a safe, secure, standardized way globally of making this a reality. And that is QUANT Network's global interoperable software as a service overledger, you guys. Truly see, I know it's a lot of noise in the Web3 space, and there's a lot of players doing a lot of incredible things. But in my eyes, no one touches QUANT Network and their interoperable software as a service overledger, the first and only patented software as a service for blockchain. Like truly see the things that's being laid out. And now you have a thing like a Project Meridian that took place with real-time growth settlement systems of countries. Then now you have QUANT Network releasing its view and what it can do for real-time growth settlement systems. That is no coincidence because we already know QUANT Network is there based off of what? The words out of the players' mouths. I believe it's Tom Mutton from the Bank of England said it clear as day. QUANT is there. Gilbert is there. Understand, if QUANT is there, if Gilbert is there, then that means QNT is there. Y'all, the future of this space is so incredibly bright. And here towards the latter end of 2025, where we sit getting ready to go into September in just a day or two. Well, I can't believe we're actually getting ready to go into September in a day or two, which is crazy. This year has gone by so fast. But to know that we are right here at the precipice of true onboarding, because we are in the year of adoption that is getting ready to go into the year of deployment. And we are at the point of laws being codified and the biggest players in the world fighting to be the crypto capital of the world out of their own mouths. You guys, QUANT Network going the route of standardizing the technology as opposed to trying to work on a siloed technology just to benefit them. Truly see what they did. They went the route of let's bring the entire Web3 space together so that we all can share in the future of what Web3 can be and that's the reason why when they say bring your own node and when they ask Gilbert things about what can be built on Overledger, he's like the possibilities are endless. Like anything can come from this. That's why when I said in that other video where we have like the talking head and this Overledger on this big screen and this dystopian future, whatever the case may be, if it ever happens, goes to that route, like literally that pathway is being laid out because they have put a blockchain platform or a interoperable solution for blockchains so that blockchains can truly scale and truly be what they're going to be for the future of technology, just like the internet was for the past almost 3 decades. Truly see where we are, and for us to hold a piece of the next level and the next iteration of the web, you guys, is incredible. QNT is incredible. And for them to now be working with countries, real-time gross settlement systems is mind-blowing. Understand what quant flow is and why they call it the money engine and why they call it the language of money. That means that it is truly that interpreter. No matter what language is coming into it, it can interpret it and do whatever the goal or task that's coming attached to their money and associated with. Truly understand, it's like I said in the video with Maximus, that they call it the money engine because the outer structure is staying the same. It's just like if you have an old car and you love your car, but you don't want to get rid of your car, but your car just broke down. So what do? You go and sometimes you might have to do what? Rebuild the engine. And QUANT Network and these RTGSs is truly rebuilding the engine of countries' financial systems, where the outer structure will stay the same, but the inside of it is brand new, spick and span. It gives you the best gas mileage ever, and it is seamless, and you can talk to any other currency in the world. Truly see what's being laid out right in front of our faces. And these announcements about these real-time gross settlement systems of countries is incredible. Because like I said, first, it was just Overledger, and it was just the L1s connecting the blockchains together. And then it was Overledger and the central banks with things like a Project Rosalind, things like the Project Rosalind. I'll stop there. So then you had Overledger in the commercial banks with things like the RLN. So now we have Overledger in the real-time gross settlement systems with things like a Project Meridian. And now we have that announcement being made of what they can do for real-time gross settlement systems around the world. Why? Because it is the global standard, that seamless integration and language of money. Follow me on this, you guys. I'm always going somewhere, okay? If you made it all the way through this entire rant, y'all type in RTGS, because it is bananas to know that quadrillions of dollars globally flow through these countries, RTGSs, and in some way or another is going to interoperate with Overledger, QUANT Network, software as a service. So to the next time, y'all already know, type in RTGS. That way I know y'all made it all the way through this entire video. I appreciate y'all. Peace out.